how do we fund our deals? Hey, it's Brad from probatehouseguy.com. So I'm a real estate investor specializing in probate and inheritance properties. I've been doing this for a number of years. And today I'm going to talk about how we fund our deals. Pretty much all of our deals are funded through private money lenders. When we first started out, we borrowed a little bit of hard money here and there, but I don't really borrow hard money anymore. And what I mean by hard money is these are typically sort of hard money institutions. These are companies, might be individuals too, that loan money on real estate deals, and they will fund deals. It's called hard money. I borrow private money. So most of my lenders some of them are actually other investors that loan me money out of their self-directed IRAs and their self-directed 401k accounts because they're not allowed to use that money for their own deals because it's a prohibited transaction in the eyes of the IRS. So they actually loan me money out of their IRAs or their 401ks. Some of my other private lenders do the same. They utilize IRA or 401k money. So I've actually gotten some of them to help them get in touch. We've got a custodian a couple different companies that I work with, a couple different custodians. I'm not going to get into who those are in this video, but we've gotten them basically to roll over some or all of their IRA or their 401k money into a self-directed IRA account. Now, what does that mean? Well, that means that they are in control of the investments. They're not the custodian. It's not like some people are like, oh, well, I have a self-directed account. And really what they mean is that they have a list of stocks and bonds that they can pick from and they can pick and choose those. No, self-directed means the sky is the limit. There's certain things that the IRS says you cannot do, but really the sky's the limit as to what you can do with your IRA and your 401k money. And when you have a self-directed account, you have almost total control of that account. Why I say almost is because you still have to put the money with a custodian, and the custodian is going to have to sign off on or approve of your transaction. Really, all they're doing in most of those cases is just making sure you have your proper paperwork in order and that you're not doing what's called a prohibited transaction. Other than that, the custodian could really care less or how or where you invest your money as long as you're doing it per the IRS regulations. They don't really care what you do with it, right? The difference between them and just like a regular custodian, like, I don't know, like a Fidelity account, right? In Fidelity, you have a list of stocks you can pick from and you have to pick one of those stocks and they manage their money and they invest your money for you. If you have a self-directed account, you are in total control of that money. So what does that mean? Well, that means you can actually loan money out on real estate deals to other people. Now, there are certain prohibited parties that you cannot loan money to. You can go to the IRS publications and look that up as to what prohibited parties are. But if the person you want to lend money to is not considered a prohibited party, you can loan money to them for as little or as long as you want and whatever terms that you want. We also borrow money from just individuals who have, basically this is their investment money. It's not necessarily in an IRA or a 401k account. It's just investment money that they have. And we borrow money from them to fund our deals. So typically the way I do it, and obviously it took me a little while to build up a track record. I had to flip a lot of houses, build up a track record so that people would trust me with their funds. But I typically have them fund 100% of the purchase and the rehab. So if I'm buying a house for $150,000 and it needs $50,000 rehab, I'm going to go to my private lender and I'm actually going to borrow like $205,000. So that's going to cover my $50,000 rehab. That's going to cover my $150,000 purchase price. And that's going to cover potential closing costs or whatever. Actually, probably 200. It's more like probably 202,500 would cover everything. So they're going to actually loan me money for the full amount. And another thing that I do is I try, with some of the lenders I do this, some of the lenders I don't, where I don't make any monthly interest payments to them during the term. We just tack on the interest at the end of the note in one lump sum, and they get paid off in one lump sum, principal and interest and everything when I go to sell the property. I typically do that with flips. If it's a property that I might be holding as a rental property, usually I'll probably make them interest payments every month. But if something where I'm doing like a short-term flip, maybe it's 90 days, 6 months, that sort of thing, we'll just accrue the interest and I'll pay it all out at the end in a lump sum. why do I borrow private money? I do it because of the flexibility. Because if I have a deal that comes across my desk, I can call my private lender up, and all my private lenders, I've been doing deals with them. I've done tons and tons of deals with them. They know me, they trust me, they know that I'm being a good steward with their funds. And I can say, hey, I've got this deal and it's closing next week. I need, $200,000 for this deal. And they say, okay, great. I'll send it over to, and I always close everything with the same closing attorney every time. We use the same, we have a loan document template that my attorney created for me, and we just use that on individual deals, and then we'll just change the terms, change the, the property it's tied to, change the amounts, that sort of thing. It's sort of a template that we can fill in the blanks, right? We use this template, we send those loan documents over to the attorney, and I always close everything with the same closing attorney. And they know where to wire the money. They wire the money straight to the closing attorney's account. They don't ever send the money to me. They send it to my closing attorney. And they know the drill. So that's why I fund my deals with private money, is because of the flexibility. If I were doing hard money, I'd have to call them. I'd have to probably fill out an application. I'd have to send them information on the property. I'd have to send them, an ARV. They're going to have to do an appraisal on the property. I have to send them a detailed rehab estimate. I have to send them contractor data. They're going to want like a lot of boxes checked. And also with that, with a lot of hard money lenders, what you don't see is a lot of the hidden fees. They're going to charge you an application fee. They're going to charge you a doc fee. They're going to charge you all these fees like any other institutional lender would. They're making all their money on all these fees, right? Plus, typically speaking, a hard money lender is going to want you to have some skin in the game. Most of the hard money lenders that I know of, if you have a track record, you're an experienced investor, they're still not going to fund 100% of the deal. Typically, they're only going to fund about 90% of the deal. So you're still having to come to the table with some cash. Well, what does that mean? Well, if you're someone like me and you're doing lots of projects at a time and you're not doing just one or two flips here, and you've got multiple projects going on at a time, all of a sudden, if you've got 10% out on this project, 10% out on this project, 10% out on this project, 10% out on the other one, plus a lot of these hard money lenders are going to require you to make monthly interest, and monthly interest payments is typically interest only. So now all of a sudden it creates a cash flow burden on your business. And this particular business we're in is this, I call it a cash flow roller coaster, because you might sell a few deals one month and you make a whole bunch of money, and then the next month you buy a bunch of deals and you're cash poor, but you're real estate rich. And now all of a sudden you've got, all this money stuck out in these deals. So by using private money, I can use other people's money to fund my transactions so that it eliminates a cash flow burden on myself. So I can keep my cash for myself. I can keep my cash and spend it more on direct mail marketing. I can keep my cash and put it in my bank account. I have it sitting there in case for some reason, I keep a reserve so that if for some reason something happens with a deal, I always make sure my investors get paid. So I always pay my investors before I pay myself. My investors always get paid out. They always get paid their money. My investor, there have been a couple deals over the years where I have lost money. Fortunately, not very much, just a few $1,000s. But my investors got paid every penny back of their money, plus all the interest and everything that I owed them. And they made money on the deal. It worked out for them, but I took the loss. And that's the way it should be. If you want to continue to be successful in this business, you have to take care of your investors. So I fund all my deals through private money. I also have a home equity line of credit on my house. I can use that, although I try not to do that, but I do have a home equity line of credit on my personal residence that I can use to fund some deals as well. So if you're looking to get into this business and you're wondering where the money's going to come from, there's a lot of ways to get the money. Don't ever let the money be the thing that holds you back, because if you have a good enough deal and it's a good deal, you will find the money. I still do this to this day. Sometimes I still do partnerships with people where we'll do a 50-50 partnership. For example, I have one of my investors. Sometimes she and I actually will do 50-50 deals together. Typically, if we're doing a 50-50 deal, it's I found the deal, I brought the deal to the table, she's going to fund it and rehab the deal, and then I'm going to sell the deal once it's all done. Or sometimes I'll do the rehab. It just depends, and then we'll kind of kick it back and forth. So we'll play this kick it back and forth game because 50% of the pie is still better than 100% of nothing, right? Now, I don't do that on everything. I try to do, just principal and interest or just a typical loan, right? But in some cases where I'm doing a deal with another investor, if we have complementary skill sets, or maybe it's a property in an area where it's kind of too far away for me to mess with, I might partner with deals. For example, I do deals out of state, and I'll typically bring in an out of state investor and basically split the deal with them and say, hey, I got this deal. Your boots on the ground in this market. You run with the deal, do the profit, whatever. Now, and typically they're going to make a little bit more profit than I would because they're really doing more work than me, but I brought the deal to the table. I brought the deal, I structured the deal, I negotiated it, I closed on the deal. I've got the deal here. You just run with it and you take it. And then in the end, we'll split the profits. So do that quite frequently. So that's how we fund our deals. I know this video was a little bit long, but I could go on all day long about private money lending. But really, once you build a network of private lenders, your business is going to explode because you'll be able to do a lot more deals than you could with hard money or even your own cash. So thanks for checking out this video. I'm Brad from Probate House Guy. Appreciate you watching this. If you want to work together, I actually am looking for partners to work with across the country because we get all of these probate and inheritance deals in our pipeline, and they're in other markets. I'm in Georgia. I can't be everywhere. So I partner strategically with people all over the country. And I typically work exclusively with 1 or 2 investors per market. Just depends on the size of the market. And all of those deals in that market go to that specific person, and we work together on every single deal. And I have a unique way of getting all these leads in through a lot of content marketing that I do on a different brand, and those come into our business, and then I choose what to do with them. So if you want to be a partner, you want to work together, click on the link below, go to our website, go to probatehouseguy.com. There's a form there on the website you can fill out, and we'll be in touch with you. You'll probably get a hold of Missy on my team, and then she'll just relay the message to me, and I'll call you right back. So thanks again for checking out this video. Hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.